Hey, yo, what's up? This is Eric Davis. Let's chop it up. Listen, we had a little technical difficulty, but we are live on the air. All right, we want to appreciate everybody for tuning in, coming in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. All right, just wanted to come on tonight. We want to say welcome to the live pod, our second live pod. I know it's been a minute since the first one, but we promised you we were coming, and we are here. All right, we're gonna chop it up real good tonight. I want to thank Khalees and thank Renee for getting us on. I know, like I said, we had some technical difficulty. This is our pre-draft pod. All right, we're gonna get you ready for the draft. So we're not gonna be on too long tonight because I want to get back and enjoy the draft. I want you to enjoy the draft, and we're gonna just enjoy ourselves on tonight. All right. So I appreciate everybody coming in. As you come in, let us know you're here. All right, in the chat. Just want to talk on tonight. The topic of tonight is let's be real. All right, let's be real about some things. I got some notes here, man, and we just want to make sure that we're continuing to stay relevant and prevalent in each other's lives. We want to make sure that we are making a difference in the life of someone else. Appreciate everybody that's gone and viewed all the posts, who've commented on the posts, who've let me know they appreciate the post, let me know that they have enjoyed it, that it's impactful to them, that it's meaningful to them. So we just want to keep doing this. We want to keep stressing it, keep pushing forward, keep making sure that we are being change agents in the lives of young men, all right? So we want to make sure that we're doing that. We're real men, real conversations. We're going to get real results, and that's what we're striving for, on tonight, all right? Just wanted to talk, man. Let's be real. All right. Let's be real about some things. All right. What's really going on in the lives of each other? What's really going on in our lives? What's really going on in this climate that we're in? What's really going on in dealing with situations and relationships and your everyday mental capacity, making sure that we are sound mind and body and spirit. All right. We want to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and also taking care of those that are around us. All right. I know, we've said it before. We've come on and said that we can wear so many hats as men. We do so many things. We take on so much, and a lot of times you can get overlooked. All right. But we want to see what's really going on with one another. Let's make sure that we are taking care of each other. All right. Taking care of our mind, taking care of our body and our spirit. All right. Want to really understand what's at the heart of a man. I think a lot of people will look at that and say, well, that's something that you really don't hear about, something we really don't talk about. But what's going on in the heart of a man during these times? And I can speak for myself. A lot of times as men, and I speak for myself, a lot of times we try to deal with everything ourselves. We try to deal with situations ourselves. We try to deal with our feelings on our own. We try to deal with our emotions on our own. All right. And a lot of times we need to have someone we can talk to. We need to have someone who we can pour our heart out to, someone we can just sit and talk to or vent or relieve stress just to get it out and not be judged for it. All right. Not be judged, not be criticized, not be ridiculed, and not have it to come back on us. All right. So a lot of times that's what we need as men, because you can be in a place to where people see you at a certain level. All right. They see you in a certain way. They see you in a certain position. They see you in a certain lifestyle. And when you show that you are just like anybody else, you hurt like anybody else, you bleed like anybody else. All right. You get sad like anybody else. You get angry like anybody else. And so that lets us be vulnerable. All right. We get vulnerable in those situations. And we need to have a safe space. And a lot of times we don't get it. We don't have a safe space. A lot of times when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable and it gets turned back on us, or we get made to feel a certain way, then that creates a sense of trauma. All right, if I can say it that way, that creates a very uneasy place for us as men. That creates a sense of, what's the word I'm looking for? That creates a sense of unwelcoming. I'm not welcomed in that space. So now I got to be on when I'm around you. Now I got to be on when I'm talking to you. Now I got to be on when I'm dealing with you. And I can't let my guard down, and I can't be vulnerable. I can't sometimes be myself and who I am. So a lot of times we need to look at those things and make sure that we're in the right environments. Make sure we got the right people around us. All right. Make sure that we are doing the things that are necessary for our well-being, for our health, for our spiritual, emotional. All right. Make sure that we're getting everything that we need. All right. Dealing with the heart of a man. Be real about how you feel and who you are. All right. You need to be real about how you feel. Listen, because I know for me, years ago, early on in my marriage, I tried to handle everything on my own, tried to handle the way I felt on my own, my emotions. But I wasn't allowing my wife to be who she was in our marriage, if that makes sense. Everything okay? Yeah, I'm good. And I wasn't. And it was okay that I wasn't. All right. She could help me navigate through what I was dealing with. All right. Now, you okay? No, I ain't okay. All right. That's years of growth. That's years of communication. That's years of talking. That's years of understanding that I don't have to take it on all by myself. That's what we are there for one another. Just so in your relationship, you are there for one another. You have somebody that you can talk to. But whether it don't have to be a spouse, it doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be that friend, that confidant, that one that you feel safe with. The person that knows you is going to check on you and say, are you okay? That's the time you let it out. All right. That's taking care of you. That's being real about what's going on. That's being real about how you feel. That's being real about you really can't handle the situation right now. That's being real about I don't feel up to par right now. I don't feel like I'm being the man that I think I should be. And that's real deep right there. You don't feel like the man you think you should be. All right. You put a lot of weight. We put a lot of weight on ourselves. We put a lot of burdens on ourselves. We put a lot of responsibilities on ourselves. And not just what society says we should do. All right, we put it not what's said to us as we're coming up as young boys, coming into manhood, maturing, and you should be this way. A man should do this, and he should do this, and he should do this. So you take on everyone's perception of what a man should be. All right, and you never really get to understand who a man is on your own. You don't get to look into it, study, and I mean study by being around strong-minded people, being around those that are pour into you, that are not looking to take anything from you, that want you to do better, that want you to succeed, that can help you grow and mature and be relevant and make sure that you're being that person that who you're called to be. All right. That's what we got to make sure that we are staying on track, staying focused. All right. Staying on track, staying focused. All right. Let's keep it together when we're talking about and dealing with other young men. And let's just keep it a buck. All right. Let's keep it a buck, because what you got to understand is if you're in your 50s and 40s, it is a completely different time. All right. Completely different. What's the word I want to use? Completely different state that our young people are in, that our young men are in, that our teenagers are in, that our young boys are in. All right. Everything now is more open. A lot of things that we never would have thought to be considered as societal norms are societal norms. All right. Things that we never wanted to be seen, they're out front with it. All right. Thank God we didn't have social media back in the 80s and early in the 90s. All right. A lot of stuff that we did, we didn't want to be seen. We didn't want it to be known. But now it's open for everything. All right. So, but a lot of that goes with a lot of mistakes that you may make in your younger years will follow you when you get older. All right. They're going to follow you. So you got to be understanding of making better decisions. That's where we come in. All right. You got to make time to talk, make time to listen, make time to encourage, all right? And don't beat them down, all right? Don't, yeah, okay, they smoking weed, they smoking weed. Encourage them, all right? Still encourage, still pour in, all right? Let them know that that's not the only thing, there is to do, all right? Because a lot of times that will hinder you, especially if you have a job, all right? You're out, you're driving, you get pulled over, you're on your job, you have an accident. All right, those things will affect your everyday to day. They will affect your well-being. They can stop you from making a living, from earning, bringing in a paycheck. They can stop you from being able to go as you come and please because now something has happened. You're under the wheel, under the influence. All right, so, and I said that because I know that's a big thing. I see, I smell, all right, when I'm out and about out today, taking care of some business, standing in the parking lot, we were having a conversation, and it was just as strong as anything outside, and we were standing outside. So, and that's just one of the things that that I know I deal with on a day-to-day, dealing with young cats. All right, dealing with young cats, not all, but some, and some will be open to hear, open to receive. All right, you gotta be mindful of, you got to be strategic in how you speak to people, how you move in certain situations. You got to know the people that you're talking to, know the crowd that you're dealing with, know the generation that you're dealing with. All right. Some not going to receive you. Some are. All right. It's just the way it is. That's the way it works, and you just got to keep putting forth the best effort. All right. So you got to be able to take rejection because everybody's not going to receive it. All right. We're going to be real about this thing. We're not always going to be in situations that we're going to get positive feedback. People are always looking to, what's the phrase I'm looking for? People are always looking to rebuke what you say. If you're pushing positivity, somebody's always going to come with some negative thought, some negative note, some negative connotation, some word that goes against what you're trying to do. All right, that's just human nature. That's just what that is. That's human nature. Excuse me, my chair is old. I need a new one. All right, but so we want to make sure, man, we're coming on tonight, just real brief. We're going to talk about this thing. I wanted to get some insight on it. All right, want to make sure that we're being relevant and prevalent in the lives of people, making sure that everything that we're doing, that we're striving to do it at the best of our abilities. We're trying to make a difference to these people in our lives, trying to make a difference, making sure that we have a good balance, all right, making sure that we really know what's going on, what's really happening. In one of our live in-persons a couple months ago, we got into some deep situations, got into some deep conversations about dealing with things that we saw in our childhood that carried over into our adulthood that we never really thought about or looked at until either someone brought it to our attention or an instance happened, a situation happened where it caused us to look at what was going on, and then it triggered those years where you're a child, and all of us really had situations that really drove us and pushed us to be better. All right. We had some that had issues with, some had issue with a father, had an issue with a decision I made that really affected my family, my wife and my children, and it pushed me to never put them in that situation again. Others had issues where they were dealing with female sits as a young boy, having to deal with some things as a young boy, dealing with another female. And so we touched on some things, and those things really shaped and molded us, all right, as men. Like I said, we came out better for it. We didn't let those things scar us, all right, and carry over where we could not grow from them and get better from them. All right, I think a lot of times that's what happens with a lot of us as men, as young boys, in our teens and 20s, even in our childhood. Things happen. we don't have an escape from it. We don't know how to deal with it. We let that baggage weight us down. And listen, you got to be careful trying to carry all that baggage because, like I said in the in-person, sooner or later the straps are going to break. All right. So you got to learn to unpack all that baggage. You got to learn to unpack those feelings, unpack those emotions. All right. It's only going to make you better. It's only going to serve you, serve your community, serve the ones that are around you, serve your tribe. All right. When you unpack all that baggage, when you deal with these things, you get one-on-one, you chop it up, you hurt, you disappointed, you frustrated, you feel like nobody cares, you feel like you've been abused, you feel like you ain't worth nothing. A lot of times, man, we just need to get it out, all right? Because you're going to feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to. You're going to feel like you're not the provider that you should be. You're going to feel like that you're not being who you know you can be or who you think you're called to be. A lot of times you're going to feel like you ain't hitting on nothing. But when I tell you that that is a trick of the enemy, when I tell you, you need to make sure that you keep good people around you that will encourage you. All right? You need to put people around that will encourage you, all right, that will be for your good and are looking for you, helping you to be better. All right. So that's what we need to do. We need to make sure when you get those times of being frustrated, all right, upset, you need to make sure that you can get to a safe place, and a safe space, all right, and have someone to encourage you. Not that you're looking for, but you'll know when you're with the right people, all right, and someone is going to reach out to you when you're in the midst of something. Somebody's going to reach out to you and say, "Hey, man, you good? I'm checking on you." All right, because we as men, we need that camaraderie. We need that brotherhood. When I know a lot of times when you've been hurt, you've been misused, you've been looked at wrong, they misjudged you, they put your name out there as nothing. A lot of times you draw back from getting close to people because you don't trust people. All right, but we got to make sure that we support one another, that we pour into one another, that we're there for one another. All right. So we're coming on tonight, man. We chopping it up about some things. We're making sure that we're doing the things that are necessary to be successful, to be better men, to be better husbands, fathers, friends, confidants, uncles, everything, the whole gamut. We're making sure that we're being confident in what we're doing to make a difference. All right. A couple other things. A question I thought about it, we're preparing and we're trying to get on. How are we affected by the climate that we're in now as men? I know for myself, I really try not to think of it as affecting me, but I had a situation a couple of weeks ago. We were in the midst of doing some things and preparing, and thank God has blessed us, and he's allowed us to do something great, and we thank him for it. But in the midst of that process, all right, there was a shift. Some things happened, and when I got the report, they said it was because of the tariffs that hit and this, that, and the other, and I really never thought that I would be affected personally by it, but I was. All right. And so I had to really sit back and think and trust and believe in the promise that I had and who I was and what we were doing was going to be beneficial and it was going to work out. And it did. Today we took care of some business and it's something long coming and we thank God for it. And it all worked out. We had to go through that process, but understand that process pushed us to be diligent. It pushed us to be trustworthy in the process. And it took us to another place in our relationship and trusting each other. That's dope. That's dope. All right. And I thank God that I just thought about it and realized it. All right. We never really wavered in the process. So a lot of times when we're dealing with things, fellas, we got to make sure that we don't waver in the process of what we're dealing with. Listen, it's okay to get frustrated. It's okay to question, but don't deviate from the process. Don't throw in the towel in the midst of what you're dealing with. All right. Now I ain't come on here to preach, but I'm talking to us as men, as brothers. All right. We gotta monitor what we talk about. We gotta speak positive. We gotta speak positive things. We gotta speak into these things. All right. We gotta have a positive mindset, positive attitude, positive outlook, and it'll breed positive results. All right. Positive attitude, positive mindset. All right. Positive speaking, and it's gonna breed positive results. All right. I believe it. We speak it, we believe it, we think on it, we meditate on it, we trust it, it will come to pass. All right. So we just want to make sure that we're doing all the necessary things to make sure that we're getting the results that we need. All right. I know we deal with a lot, we see a lot, we hear a lot, whether it be relationships, spouses, with our spouses, significant others, family, friends. We can't be everything to everybody. All right. And my time is running short. We can't be everything to everybody, but we want to be everything to who we need to be everything to. That's y'all can keep that one. I ain't gonna charge you for that one. You can't be everything to everybody, but you want to be everything for whom you need to be everything to. All right. Those in your immediate circles, you want to be everything to them. All right. So just wanted to come on real quick, man, and take this time. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna get you ready for the draft. All right. We hope you enjoy the draft. You see, I'm repping my boys. So we hope you enjoy the draft. We'll see you next time. We're gonna chop it up with you soon. Real men, real conversations, and we getting these real results. I pray you have an outstanding night. Have a wonderful weekend. All right. And enjoy the draft. Hope your team gets who they want. We'll chop it up with you soon. Have an outstanding day. We'll holler at you. Have a good one. Peace.